remembering a fallen soldier. Lexington native and Army captain and Green Beret Andrew Ross is being honored by his high school. The fallen soldier will have his soccer jersey retired at tonight's game. 10 News reporter Arisha Jones is live at Rockbridge County High School to tell us more about this special presentation. Arisha?
Well, Lindsay, Andrew Ross plays soccer as a student athlete here at Rockbridge County High School. Those here at the school say today gives them a chance to recognize and honor the Army captain. He was killed in November when his vehicle was hit by an IED during his second deployment to Afghanistan. Rick Lawless remembers him as a competitive soccer player on the field and one of the top players by the time he graduated in 2007. After the junior varsity game that's happening now, his family will be presented with a framed jersey that will be displayed inside the school, and a plaque will be placed revealed on the stadium press box.
We're looking at today as a chance for celebration and knowing that you just see Drew smiling right now, you know, saying, "Hey, they're retiring my jersey," you know, type of person he would be to do that. He would be very appreciative of it.
People were asked to wear red, white, and blue as part of the tribute to Ross. Now, his plaque will sit next to Chase Prasnicki at Rockbridge County High School and someone who also died in combat. His tribute will also be on this press box. We will show you that tonight in a full report at 11 o'clock. Live in Rockbridge County, Arisha Jones, 10 News, working for you.